We got some big things happening today, obviously with reset, meaning 12.0.5 goes live. It's going to be a long one, boys. We also got some interesting new strategies that you could be using for your vault. Considering the new way this is going to work out, this might change how we do our vaults forever, interestingly enough, being able to target specific gear. But let's just dive straight in here. As I mentioned before, 8-hour maintenance happening today. Yeah, go interact with your children, your wife, maybe touch some grass. Don't do anything dangerous like that, actually. Don't do that. But, yeah, it's going to be 8 hours of maintenance today, guys, so you're not going to be playing much until after reset. But other than that, there is a ton going on today, guys. WoW players are getting some massive class tuning. I mean, when I call it massive, that's an understatement. We're talking basically every class in the game. I'll list the classes out, but to go through these patch notes, you're going to probably want to check out the link down below the video or this link in the chat to actually view these. But here we go, real quick, just the classes that are getting big changes today. We got Frost Death Knight, Unholy Death Knight. For Demon Hunter, we got Devour, Vengeance, and Devour and Vengeance. For Druid, we got Balance, Feral, Guardian, and Restoration, all 4 Druid specs. For Evoker, we're seeing Evoker overall changes and then Augmentation getting its own special changes as well. Preservation also getting changes. And then Hunter, we see Marksmanship getting its changes. Survival Hunter also getting some changes today. And then Mage, we see Arcane and Frost getting changes. Monk, Brewmaster, and Mistweaver getting ones, as well as Windwalker. So all 3 Monk specs. For Paladin, we're getting Holy changes. For Priest, it's going to be Discipline and Holy. And then for Rogue, Ass, and Outlaw, and Subtitty all getting their changes. For Shaman, Enhancement and Restoration. And finally, for Warrior, we're seeing Arms and Furry and Protection. And then actually, last but not least, I forgot to mention, Warlock, Demonology and Destruction. So tons of nerfs and buffs going across the board. Big changes. Your classes are going to play a bit differently. If I mention their name, there's some big changes coming in. So when the patch is finally live, yeah, you might want to test some shit out, see how they're actually hitting. Other than that, the big thing going live today, and I think probably the biggest thing, understated, is the new Void Forge. This thing's a big deal. I've mentioned it multiple times now. So the Void Forge, up till now, you've had to complete the quest, which I wasn't doing. It's become famous now for that. The fact that I wasn't doing it, it's literally marked as an important quest. But I digress. You've had to complete this thing 5 times up till this point. Just know, when the servers go live, you got to complete it 1 more time. It's going to take 6 completions of the quest to be able to actually use the Void Forge. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pick up the newest iteration of the Building the Void Forge quest. Now, how do you complete this thing? You got to defeat 3 raid bosses. Could be LFR, could be normal, whatever it is. Or loot bountiful coffers. You're going to have to do 3 of those. Or complete 3 mythic dungeons and loot the end chest. Completing this quest will unlock the Void Forge for you, which is going to give you that extra roll on things, or the conversion of Heroic Track to Myth Track gear for your weapons and trinkets. So this is a big one. Yeah, 3 delves could get it done. There's plenty of ways to do this. If you haven't done it just yet, okay, you're going to have to start from 0 and work your way up to 6, which means every 3 boss kills or whatever, you're going to go turn this thing in, pick it up again, and just keep doing this thing. LFR might be the easiest way to get this thing done, because every 3 bosses, no matter what difficulty you're doing it on, will complete the quest, but you're going to have to do this thing 6 times over. So we got some making up to do here. Now, this thing is account-wide. Someone was asking in the comments in one of my videos the other day, is this account-wide? Yes, this is an account-wide feature, so do it on one of your characters, and you'll have it unlocked for everybody else. Now, the important thing is, this thing can be, once unlocked, you can actually purchase some of these nebulous void caches, which are the things that allow you to re-roll on things from your vault. The way you do this is by using your Thalassian tokens of merit. You know, those are the tokens, the bad luck tokens that, you know, there's nothing good in your vault, so you go pick these up. The thing is, this might change strategy for people going forward, because really, what this nebulous void core allows you to do is specifically target myth track gear. Right? Completing a +10 dungeon, maybe where one of your best in slot items drops from, you can use one of these void cores at the end of the dungeon to potentially pull one of your best pieces of gear. That's how this thing works. So using this void core is specifically targeting myth track gear that you want, rather than waiting for something to come from vault. So what people might start doing here, and this could be a strategy a lot of people could use, fill out a single vault row, so you can get yourself 6 tokens, right? You want to fill out a whole row, so that means 6 bosses. You could just do 6 LFR raid bosses. It doesn't matter. complete 8 time walking dungeons, finish 8 tier 1 delves. Remember, the difficulty doesn't matter. The goal is just fill out an entire row, because once you've done that, you can pick up 6 of these tokens as your bad luck exchange. It doesn't matter what's dropping from the vault. You're not going to give a shit. You're chasing that nebulous void core. So like I said, what people will start doing potentially, you fill out your vault row. Maybe you didn't play a lot this week. Go ahead and fill one row out, or any combination. You just got to fill out, you got to get 3. Right, so you can fill out 2 in one row and then 1 in another. Whatever it is, 3 unlocks will get you 6 tokens. Okay, you get 2 tokens for every unlock that was a shitty one. So filling out 3 slots, getting you 6 tokens, giving you a nebulous void core. And here's the kicker: this void core does not count towards your limit of 2 per week. That's right. So this thing will be a third one. So let's give you a third roll on any piece of best in slot items that you want from the game. So yeah, this is a big deal. The fact that it doesn't count towards your limit of 2 makes this an even bigger deal. So like I said, people might just start pushing their vaults right now, 3 slotting no matter what, to get those coins and then not giving any shit. Sam never gets 6 tokens. Yeah, he will even be. The thing is, like, I know for a fact now that, hey, end of the week, I didn't have a lot of time to fill out my vault. Maybe I only did 1 Mythic Plus dungeon or killed 2 bosses and got that first slot. You might just go run 2 tier 1 delves. Fucking thing will take 5 minutes. Get 2 more slots and ensure the fact that you're going to get another nebulous void core. So this is a pretty interesting one, pretty big one. I think a pretty big game changer for a lot of people. This will be a good one for sure. True. He has to do the content to get the vault slots. Yes, you do have to play the game a little bit to get the vault slots. That is true. And if you continue to play the game, you might actually unlock the new achievement for 3,400 or higher rating, Keystone Myth. That's right. We talked about this a little bit ago. We're getting the new Keystone Myth track, basically the Keystone Myth achievement. Where there's also a higher one than that for an achievement. But the thing about Keystone Myth is it's going to give you this new time warped saddle. I think they're calling it time slot saddle. When you hit the 3,400 rating, which will allow you to go ahead and get any previous, it seems like any previous, Mythic Plus award mount for getting Keystone Master. So all the old Keystone Master mounts could be yours. Now, Blizzard dropped this little preview tweet here. Didn't reveal much behind it. All they were saying was, yes, these mounts are all coming back, it seems like. And they did show a few recolors, actually. So this one right here, the Carulian Deathwalker, this one's a recolor, as well as this one up here, the High Yield Shredder Tank, another recolor. So not only does it look like we're getting some old mounts back that you'll be able to pick, but we could be getting some recolors. Now, I just showed those. There's 4 items. The Infinite Armadon is also in this image, and the Scarlet Void Flyer, but all these other mounts have a chance here. Now, Keystone Master, the first one ever, I didn't realize this, was BFA. I feel like we've had Keystone Master for longer than this. But yeah, BFA Season 4 was our first one when we got the Awakened Mind Boner. I mean, Borer. And so that can go, we can go maybe all the way back to that one and get those Keystone mounts. But yeah, it looks like you're going to be able to pick any one of these ancient Keystone mounts, as well as some options to get some recolors. So this one could be interesting. People going for the 3,400. We're going to look at some of these Mythic Plus numbers. People already started trying to do this. So 3,400 is the rating. Not too hard to do. I think most people will be able to get that done and get themselves one of these cool looking mounts. Going on, as I mentioned before, Mythic Plus right now is getting absolutely flooded. Flooded since the last push, but it's less than usual. Let's look at these Mythic Plus numbers real quick and compare what it usually looks like. So if you're looking at Season 1 of Midnight, that's the blue line here, we see there's less Mythic Plus participation than usual. And some people are accounting this to the fact that, it's easier, so people are dropping off a bit quicker. People are getting the gear they wanted and maybe going out to raid or something like that. So yeah, a bit less than all what we saw from the War Within. Even Season 3 of The War Within had more participation at this point. We did see a level off because we recently had the Keystone quest where you had to do 4 Mythic Plus dungeons to complete the quest. That one obviously kicked up participation and leveled out here. But for the most part, we've seen a drop-off. If you're looking at China or with China, it's not really fair because the Chinese recently came back and didn't really participate in the War Within dungeons. So obviously adding in China kicks the numbers up quite a bit. But looking at the without China numbers, we see clearly that we're behind or lagging in previous seasons. ISR Caverns continues to be the least completed dungeon across the board. The rest of them are pretty even. Windrunner Spire still continues to be the most popular one. Now, looking, though, at the overall dungeon completion, typically we've seen, plus 10 and then a big drop-off after that. Ever since the announcement of the 3,400 rating potential, people have been doing this a lot more. So the 3,400 rating really did push this down the line here. People doing plus 12s, 14s, and 16s. I believe to get 3,400, you're probably going to, what is it, plus 16s timed to get a 3,400 across the board. So people pushing higher in their keys since this announcement. We've already seen the effects of that. People getting back into Mythic Plus maybe. So that's going to be what people are pushing really, is getting plus 16s timed. Overall, the forecast is still looking good for Mythic Plus. We'll see how it ends up playing out. But for now, it continues to remain a little bit lower than what we've typically seen. Moving on to some less important news, but probably something pretty damn crazy. For anybody who has played an elf in this game, you know that you have those special animation jumps, right? The flip or the spin, whatever it may be. And we know that that's kind of a luck of the draw thing. You press your space bar, it's going to do a spin or a jump. You're not really sure when it's going to happen. There's a new embellishment out there called the Lucky Keychain. It doesn't count towards your embellishment, limit of having 2 items embellished through crafting. This one actually enables the fact that you will spin or do your special jump emote every single time that you jump. That's right, putting this embellishment on any of your crafted items will ensure that you do the fanciful version of your jump. Yeah, this is riveting content here. This is what the people have been asking for. So, if you're into the jump flip or the jump spin, whatever elven race you play, and you've always wanted to be able to just have it constantly happen, put the Lucky Keychain on one of your embellishments, as one of your embellishments on your crafted items, and you can always do it non-stop. So that's an interesting one. Finally, here we have 12.0.5 content. As I mentioned before, tons of things coming with this patch. It's probably one of the biggest 0.5 patches we've ever had. And Blizzard dropped a little update trailer here, so let's check this one out here on everything coming in 12.0.5. A little shorty here.
Your efforts to help us in these dark days brought you to my attention. A mass of void energy has appeared at the gates of Silvermoon. Aid the defense of our city! Get in there and take them down!
Yeah, we got the assaults and shit.
Something
the Void
is
Forge.
permeating the very wilds of Eversong Forest with unstable energies.
Oh yeah, the ritual sites are pretty cool. I think these things will be cool.
Descend against our settlements. We must prevent these threats from gaining ground.
Yeah, everything contributes to your Great Vault. The Void Forge is going to be crazy. If only I've been doing the quests. Decor.
We need to stay vigilant. The Void's powers are strong, but we will not surrender.
There it is. Yep, going live today after an 8-hour maintenance. So, we'll be excited for it. A lot of things to do in this patch. Definitely one of the bigger 0.5 patches we've ever seen, for sure. And for today, that is all in terms of news.